Hi guys, Chris here, and I'm back with another review for you. And this one is actually quite a cool watch, which I've bought just to review. I thought I might keep it. Decided already, I'm not going to keep it, but I do actually think it's a decent watch. It looks quite nice. It's just not quite what I'm looking for in terms of adding to my sort of daily collection. I don't see the point in adding a watch in which I'm probably not going to use more than other watches which I already have, if that makes sense. So just to give you a breakdown. So what we have on my wrist right here is the Hamilton Khaki Aviation Takeoff Air Zermatt, okay? And as you can see, it's a blacked out watch. It's got a bit of a red pattern on the inside here, which is quite cool. And on the end of the second hand, there's a little red arrow at the end, which is nice because it makes it really stand out as it's moving around. Now the watch itself has a leather strap, which is calf leather, and it feels pretty solid, the strap, with a little bit of a red stitch. I like the red stitch because for me it makes it it matches the rest of the watch, so it doesn't look unusual, it looks pretty cool. What we also have here is, as you can see, the crown actually sticks out quite a bit. Now, it kind of reminds me, I guess, of like a IWC watch when I look at it now actually, but the crown does stick out. It doesn't bother me too much. If you bring your hand back though, it does push up against your hand, but maybe that's the position I like to wear my watch in. Overall, it looks pretty cool. As you can see, you've got the numbers going around, so obviously 1 to 12, and then you've got the dial which moves. Now the dial itself, it's not like a diving dial, obviously. It's kind of just like more subtle, and it's got little grooves all the way around it. When it moves, it's very silent and very smooth. Okay, so yeah, I can't hear that moving at all. It's very smooth. Overall, it's a very nice looking watch. As I say, I'm not going to keep it because I don't feel like it's something that I'm going to use. But if I was in the market for like a starter watch, something which, something that I can start wearing a nice watch, but I don't want to spend a lot of money, then I would probably go for this one. I've not seen too many retailers selling it. I bought it online, and I think overall, it's a nice watch. I'm glad I bought it to review because it's interesting to see it, and I love watches, so even just opening the box for me is great, even if I'm not going to keep it. Now let's have a look. So it's water resistant to 50 meters. As I say, the leather on the strap is calf leather, which we'd expect, but it's decent quality. It's an automatic movement watch, which again is good for the price. But you would expect that, I guess, with Hamilton. But overall, it's a good value watch. Nice package. It's a 42 millimeter, and I've got quite big wrists, so I think it's a nice size on my wrist. To be honest, I wouldn't want it any smaller than that. So yeah, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to read a description which was made about the watch, which will give you a bit more of an idea of what the watch is actually for. So the Khaki Takeoff Air Zermatt was inspired by and created using feedback from the Rapid Response Swiss Mountain Rescue Service it takes its name from. Reliable, readable, and ready for action at a moment's notice, the automatic movement ensures it's a dynamic inside and it is outside, and that it's a perfect reflection of the team it serves. So I think that's quite interesting that this watch has been designed by the Rapid Response Swiss Mountain Service team. Because it's been designed a way that they want it to look. So I guess when you're thinking about it, they're up in the mountains, rapid response. So I guess that's maybe why they've got the red and the black there. It's kind of like a high energy color scheme, which it looks stand out. But also because of the second hand with being the red, it makes it easy to follow, which is probably important because I imagine for these guys every second counts. So as it's moving around, you can really see it. Now, as the red pattern that's on the side actually moves, so as you actually rotate the bezel, it rotates that part of the design as well, which is pretty cool. So you can sort of choose where you want that to be. But overall, it's a pretty cool watch. It's something which, as I say, I'm not going to keep it for myself because I don't feel like it's something that I'm going to get any particular use out of. But I think if you were in that market where you're looking for a nice watch, don't want to spend a lot of money, and you happen to like Hamilton, great by the way, got a lot of history, then this could be a winner for you. As I say, it's got a date function as well, so that's always great. So it would make sense being a rescue team. I'm sure that they would want that sort of information on there. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool looking watch. You know, this is something that I think you could probably travel with quite easily. You know, you could probably wear this if you're into skiing. I mean, it would probably be quite a nice option if you're into hill walking and things like that. It's probably quite a nice option for you to have because it does look nice. It does look kind of sporty, and it's got a nice color scheme. And I think anything that's kind of blacked out for me actually does look pretty cool. You know, it's just a nice looking watch. Would I recommend someone gets this watch, or who would I recommend gets this watch? I think it's ideal for someone who maybe already has a nice collection and either they want to add something different to it, so they want to add something like this, which actually seems to be quite different. I've not seen any other retailers selling it because I actually did a bit of a search. I think you can get on Chrono24, but I didn't see many retailers actually selling it, so that was quite interesting. And yeah, I mean, overall, it is quite a cool looking watch. It's very light on the wrist, which is nice, makes it quite comfortable because you really don't want something which is too heavy. Like the Omega Seamaster actually is a lot heavier than this, but personally, I actually like the weight in that because I don't wear that as a daily wearer. I wear it for like work, or I wear it for going somewhere nice, or going for dinner and things like that. And so I like to feel it's there because at least I know no one's nicked it off my wrist. Where with this, you know, it's very light. You probably wouldn't notice the difference between having this on or not having it on. So it's one of those ones where, you know, it's probably quite a nice watch to wear if you're doing a lot of activities, you know, if you're hanging out with your friends and things like that. And as I say, it's 50 meter water resistance, which isn't a lot, but you know, if it's designed for mountain rescue, then that would make sense, you know, because they obviously want to keep it nice and light, and a mountain rescue team isn't likely to be in the water, as you can imagine. So it does actually make sense, and overall, I think it is an overall nice watch. Now, based on the coating that you can see on it, the black coating, from my experience, Hamilton does that really well. And from what I've looked at and what I've heard from other people that have Hamilton watches, I've never had any issues with that. So if that was something that would concern you, I actually don't think that would be an issue with this watch. But now that I'm looking at it and I've got it on and I'm seeing that red secondhand ticking around there, I have to say it's actually starting to slowly grow on me. My first impression was it's quite nice, but I'm not going to keep it. I think I'll stick with that. But at the same time, it does look pretty cool. And it's just interesting what you can get when you look around. You know, there's so many different options for nice watches, and it's really about finding your personality and what matches your personality. You know, what do you want to be seen wearing? What's going to make you feel good about yourself? When you look at your wrist, you know, what's going to make you sort of pick up your energy levels during the day, which is what I get when I wear my Omega Seamaster. You know, if I'm having a long day at work and I look at that, it just pumps me up. And it reminds me of one of the reasons why I actually work so hard. So this is a pretty cool watch, as I say. If you're interested in a watch with a bit of a story, then first of all, the brand itself, Hamilton, has a great story. I mean, those watches were used back in like the Second World War, I believe. And this one, as I say, is used by the Swiss Mountain Rescue Team. So another good story. So stories are important when it comes to watches, and I think it's important to buy a watch that has maybe a bit of a story like that. But the most important thing is the story that you give that watch. So what you do with it. You know, so if you buy this and you start using it for mountain climbing, or you take it on holiday, or if you go skiing, or whatever you do with yourself, if you can sort of build your own story around that, then in 10, 20 years time, you can look back at this watch and it will remind you of those moments that you had with it. And that's, for me, what's important about a watch, you know, and that's why I try and make sure that that if I've got a watch that I really like, try and actually create moments with it. You know, make sure you use it. There's no point in buying a nice watch and leaving it sitting in the cupboard, because then it's just a watch. It's nothing. But when you actually do things with it and wear it and have memories with it, then that's what it's all about. But yeah, this is definitely a fantastic watch, and it's a very nice option for someone who's in the market for a Hamilton watch, which looks a little bit different. I would say in a way, looking at it for the last sort of 5-10 minutes, it's actually starting to remind me of the IWC Top Gun watch, which I do actually like. Don't have the budget to buy it, unfortunately, but like it a lot. This is starting to sort of remind me of those sort of vibes, and I think it's mainly with like the blacked out screen, you know, the leather strap. You know, it's almost a little bit like a pilot watch in a way. I mean, I guess it is called the Aviation Takeoff, even though it's been designed by the Mountain Rescue Team. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you've got any questions, please drop them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Please subscribe to the channel. I've got more reviews coming. I've been a bit busy recently, so I've not had a chance to do any. I've got another watch which I've got sitting in the room next door to review, and I'm actually off to Amsterdam on Thursday for a few days, so if I get a chance to see any watches there, I'll make a little video for you guys and put that up. So yeah, so I hope you're doing great. Thanks for watching the channel. Remember to subscribe, and any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Bye.